Hey everybody, welcome back. We last left off with doing the majority of Client of Kourend and then detouring to Kourend Center to steal 100 to 150 more cakes to have more food for the near future so that we're not carrying heavy wines everywhere. When your inventory's full, go to the castle in the west and up to the 3rd floor to bank, and when you're there for the first time, pray at the altar nearby to satisfy Kebbo's easy diary task. Then, go back down to get 100 to 150 more cakes as I mentioned, and before banking for the final time, steal some silk from the silk stall, 1 for Ghost Ahoy, 1 for Dragon Slayer, 10 for Enlightened Journey, and optionally, you could fill the remainder of your inventory to sell those in Ardougne later on for 60 coins each. But given we're getting 100 and soon to be 200 death runes per kitten, it kinda pales in comparison to what we can get from selling those. When you've gotten the last of your cakes and your silk, go up to the bank and have out 1 cake for safety, as well as the enchanted quill and scroll. Then head all the way east to return to Veos at the docks. Talk to him, then once he gives you the orb, go all the way northwest through Port Piscarilius, then through Arceus, then east to get to the Dark Altar. When you're close to the Dark Altar, you can activate the orb to break it. Then return to Veos to turn the Client of Kourend, gaining 1 quest point, 2 500 experience lamps, both of which we'll put into herb lore to get us to level 14, as well as a favor certificate for 20% towards the city of our choosing. We're going to put that into Port Piscarilius, so that the Queen of Thieves quest will get us up to 30%, and then we can do the sandworm hunting activity all the way up to 100%. And of course, we get a Kharedst Memoirs from this quest, which is an offhand teleport book that gives +1 prayer bonus, and then for every introductory quest we do for each city in Zeah, we'll get a page that we can put into the book that'll give us a teleport to each of those cities and 8 teleport charges. We'll touch more on that when we actually finish the quests. Now head back to Port Piscarilius, and right outside the bank is a man named Thomas Lowry, who you'll talk to start the Queen of Thieves quest. Then go inside the bank to pull out your stew and coins before heading south across the bridge, then head west to the house closest to the bridge and talk to Robert, give him the stew, and then he'll send you down into the manhole to the east, which you'll take, go west toward the camp, open the general store, which satisfies a Kebbo's easy diary task, then talk to Devin Rudder by the fish stall to continue the quest, then from the fish stall purchase 30 fishing bait, 1 specifically for RFT goblins, and the rest have a small stock for future fishing uses. Head back to the surface and go east to the south side of the largest building where you'll see Conrad King. Softly murder him, then go back to the manhole and return to the tent by the fish stall, then go talk to the Queen of Thieves inside of it. We're now going to table the second half of this quest until we can work it in with the Ascent of Arceuus, which, to start, we need to get 20% Arceus Favor, and we'll do that by heading northwest to the Arceus Library. Once you're there, on the bottom floor you'll see Sam, Professor Gracklebone, or Villia, who are the 3 patrons you can help with this activity. Talk to one and they'll request a book that you can find around the library. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. The easiest, of course, is to use the Kourend Library plugin on RuneLite, and another is that if you don't use RuneLite, Luke's created a handy website and a how-to guide that'll link in the route. Either way, you'll have to find the first book manually by searching throughout the rooms until one appears. It doesn't have to be the book you were asked to find. Once you get that, it should update the Kourend Library plugin, or you can use that information to update the website. Use the information to go find the other books. I suggest getting as many as you come across early on because you'll be asked for them later, and it's great if you don't have to double back to look for them. Each book you turn in will give 2.5% Arceus Favor, the first of which will also satisfy an easy diary task, and since you need 20%, that's 8 books total. So go around helping the 3 patrons on the bottom until you get 20%, and recall that you get XP equivalent to your magic level times 11, which put me at just over level 30 magic by the time I got out of here. Then head southeast into Arceus Square and find Mori. Talk to her to start the Ascent of Arceuus. Now go southwest to an area called Kingstown east of Kourend Center where you stole the cakes, and from the main road, go to the closest building to the north. Within that building, go upstairs and picklock the chest to the east to get a letter for the Queen of Thieves to continue that quest. And I just wanted to show you here that I got another genie random event, and of course, I put the lamp into herb lore. After you've got the letter, go west into the castle again and head upstairs to speak to Counselor Andrews to continue the Ascent of Arceuus. Then go all the way back northeast to Port Piscarilius Bank to speak to Thomas Lowry outside of it. Then head back down into the sewers to give your letter to the Queen of Thieves, who's now called Lady Shauna Piscarilius, and turn in the quest, gaining 1 quest point, 2,000 thieving XP, which should put you around level 31, depending on how much cakes you ended up stealing, 2k gold, and a 10% favor certificate for Port Piscarilius, which as I mentioned before, will bump us up to 30%, so that we can do the sandworm hunting activity to get the final 70%. And as I mentioned earlier as well, the Fisher's Flute Memoir page that when you add to your Kharedst Memoirs will allow you to teleport right near the manhole in Port Piscarilius. It also adds 8 teleport charges to it, so a finite amount that we gotta work around for the time being. Head up to the bank and withdraw your coins, strike runes and magic gear, a couple wines, and a few cakes. Go back to Mori in the Arceus Square, then go northwest past the library into the Tower of Magic. Once you go inside, you'll have to 1v1 5 different tormented souls, which only have 20 health and a max of 2, so it'll be pretty easy. Then head upstairs and talk to Arceuus Arceuus, then leave the tower and go southwest, then west all the way through Lovikench to the top of Mount Karum. On your route will be a Shazian outpost. Go into the tent on the north side of that outpost and pick up 4 papyrus there, 1 for the Golem and 3 for Enlightened Journey. Then continue west to the mountaintop. When on top of the mountain, bank to pull out your pickaxe, then go to the west side of the mountain to mine an iron ore for a Kharedst Easy Diary task, then go southeast from there to purchase a steel spear for 325 gold, which we'll need for the Taibo Wannai Trio quest. Then head back to the bank and deposit everything to pull out your coins, strike runes and gear, Kharedst memoirs, equip all that, fly fishing rod and feathers, and then at least 1 wine and 1 cake to be safe. Head southwest to the elevator, take it down, then talk to Khazil Dar before taking the elevator back up. Head down the mountain, and when you get to the bottom, go southeast to the grave, where you'll see the water and tree icon on the map. Inspect the grave, which will create some hunter tracks along the ground. When following the tracks, it'll eventually lead you past some bushes and plants until you reach a final bush where a level 30 trap soul will appear. It's only got 30 health and a max hit of 4, and you can stand kitty corner to it at the bush and safe spot it with no problem. Once it's dead, continue southwest to the fishing spot on the River Mulch to fish up a trout for the Kharedst Easy Diary task. Then fill your inventory with trout, which we're actually going to bank for the time being, so that after we get the 2000 cooking XP from RFD Goblins and RFD Dwarves, we'll pull out and cook the trout so that we get the final few hundred cooking experience we need to get to level 20 to be able to do the Hasidius Mess Hall activity for Hasidius Favor. You'll notice here that I myself am not doing that, and that's because I do it later, but after running the route and ironing it out, it made more sense to do it back here, which is why it's added in now. Return to the mountain, take the eastern side up because you can take the first agility shortcut, then return to the elevator and take it down to talk to Khazil Dar again. But instead of returning to Arceus, we're now going to minigame teleport to Blast Furnace and purchase 4 coal ores from Orden to the north for Elemental Workshop. Then bank everything to pull out any non-full water skins you have, and then to fill the rest of our inventory with flax. Home teleport to Lumbridge, fill your water skins from the kitchen sink, then go upstairs to the spinning wheel in the southern room, spin your first inventory, bank to get your second inventory, and spin that to get past the XP requirement where finishing another quest and then getting the XP from the information clerk in the museum will put us to 30 crafting. It won't require both inventories entirely, but the reason we got 2 inventories is because it takes hardly any more time, and it accounts for any other discrepancies that anybody running the route might have, so that anybody who is at this point is at the same point. Then once you're done, go up to the bank, pull out just your coins, Kharedst memoirs, and I always like to keep a cake for safety. Now take the Fisher's Flute teleport to Port Piscarilius, then head through Port Pisk and through Arceus to get to the dark altar that you went to during the Client of Kourend. Inspect the rocks near the altar to locate and destroy a device before returning to the Tower of Magic in Arceus. Head upstairs and talk to Lord Trobe in Arceus to finish the Ascent of Arceuus, gaining 1 quest point, another 2k gold, 1.5k hunter experience, which brings us up to level 16, 500 runecraft experience, which brings us up to level 5, a 10% Arceus Favor certificate, which we'll read to bring us up to 30%, and a teleport page, which will give us another 8 teleport charges, as well as a teleport to Arceus Square near Mori. Head back to Veos at the docks and sail to Port Sarum. If you need strike runes, go to the shop to purchase some. Then sail to Karamja, sail back to Port Sarum to satisfy an easy diary task, then sail back to Karamja. Go north to the charter ship, fill your inventory with pineapples as usual, charter to Catherby, fill your inventory with pineapples again, then go to the bank and have out just your coins, 15 pineapples, and either 6 potato or onion seeds if you've reached level 5 farming. Keep in mind, I'm a bit behind that XP wise as I didn't get the first plant here in Catherby, so you might be a little bit higher than me and already level 5. And of course, your 1 marigold seed. Now go north to the farm patch to collect your compost, deposit your pineapples in the compost bin, and harvest and replant your crops, before going northeast to the quest icon on the map and talking to the dwarf to become friends with him to start the fishing contest quest. Now we're going to minigame teleport to Barbarian Assault and Bank to have out your coins, spade, fishing rod, fishing pass, barcall card, Melodian's notes and cannonball mold for Dwarf Cannon, as well as a garlic, and 1 wine and 4 cakes to be safe. Now, you'll note that there's some inventory discrepancy here between the voiceover and the footage. Just note that the voiceover is the most accurate. There were a couple route changes and 1 mistake I made that ended up reordering a couple things, so just grab these items and do as I say. Run south past the waterfall to where you started the Dwarf Cannon quest in the Fens area, then talk to Captain Logoff to give him the items you got to finish Dwarf Cannon, gaining 1 quest point, 750 crafting experience, which should put us at level 20, and the ability to purchase and use a Dwarf Cannon way later on for 750k, and we can smelt cannonballs as well. If you want more poison chalices, talk to Stankers to get some more, then cross the log shortcut to the east to satisfy an easy diary task, then talk to Galahad in the house nearby to get some tea for another easy diary task, and then keep that tea specifically for the dig site quest. Go northeast and around to the back entrance of McRubber's Wood. You'll see a little red fence area on the map, and head inside of it before going to the west side past the guard dogs to dig up 5 red vine worms for fishing contests and as a possible item for Fairy Tale Part 1. Leave McRubber's Wood the way you came and go east to Sears Pub. First talk to the bartender to cross that bar off your bar crawl card, then purchase a stew from him for 20 GP to satisfy yet another easy diary task. Then talk to the poison salesman nearby to continue both Murder Mystery by asking him who he sold the poison to, and to continue the Fremennik Trials by purchasing a 250 GP low alcohol keg. After that, head southwest down the road until you see Grandpa Jack's house and steal the poor old man's glass blowing pipe for future crafting purposes. Continue southwest to the gate to do the fishing contest quest, which you'll do by paying bonds of the 5 coins to enter the competition, putting the garlic in the pipes to the north, fishing by the pipes, and then winning the contest to receive the fishing trophy for the dwarf. Afterwards, I don't drop the fishing pass, but you're safe to do so. Head east out of the gate, then curve northeast around the ranging guild toward the fenced-in yew trees in Sears Village. Go inside the chapel to play the organ for yet another easy diary task, then go to the bank and deposit everything. Now it is time to finish up Murder Mystery, and if you recall, back in episode whatever, I had dropped my Murder Mystery proof in order to test if you actually needed it to finish the quest. So if you kept your Murder Mystery proof, pull it out to remember who it was, but if you remember who it was off the top of your head, you can head straight north to the Sinclair Mansion and talk to the culprit, then search whatever item they say they used the poison on. I've got the list right here. Then leave the mansion and talk to a guard to complete Murder Mystery, gaining 3 quest points, another 2k gold, and 1,406 crafting XP, which puts us at level 22. Now return to Sears Bank and have out your strike runes and gear, a knife, a needle, a pickaxe, 1 thread, hammer, your 4 coal, 6 wines, and 8 cakes because we have to face tank 5 elementals during Elemental Workshop 1. Now head to the building southwest of the bank and search the bookcase for a battered book. Read it, then use your knife on it to get the battered key, then go to the building across the street to the north, use your key on the wall, and enter the Elemental Workshop. From here, you're going to want to follow the quick guide or quest helper to completion, but a couple notes I want to make is that during the quest, you'll want to kill 1 of each elemental to satisfy an easy diary task. And I've checked multiple areas in all the rooms, and as far as I could find, there are no safe spots, so just face tank them. And for the earth elementals, the quest requires you to kill 1 of the stationary ones for the elemental ore to drop, but for the diary task, you must kill 1 of the ones that are already roaming. Smithing the elemental shield completes Elemental Workshop 1, gaining 1 quest point, 5,000 crafting XP, putting us at level 28, and 5,000 smithing XP, putting us at level 32. And the elemental shield, which gives kind of a paltry plus 6 magic defense. Return to the bank and deposit everything to just have out your coins, the fishing trophy, 6 onion seeds, 1 marigold seed, and of course, 15 pineapples. Run east, then north to Camelot Castle and talk to King Arthur inside to start Merlin's crystal. Talk to Sir Gawain nearby or in the courtyard to the south before going upstairs to talk to Sir Lancelot. Now leave the castle and head east to talk to the dwarf by the stairs near White Wolf Mountain to turn in fishing contest, gaining 1 quest point, 2,437 fishing XP, which should be about level 26, and access to the White Wolf Mountain passage for RFD dwarves, Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf, and Between a Rock. Now go southwest to the farming patch to swap your compost, harvest and plant your crops, and then go to Catherby Bank to have out your strike runes and gear, as well as the gnome amulet, and at least 6 wines and 8 cakes to fight Sir Mordred. Now go west to the box behind the candle shop and hop in it, and after a bit you'll be fast traveled behind Keep Lefay. Run inside then upstairs to fight Sir Mordred, who has 38 health and a max hit of 5. But upon defeating him, Morgan Le Fay will appear and ask you to spare him and tell you the ritual to free Merlin. But do not interrupt the dialogue at any time or you'll have to fight Sir Mordred again, and running out of prayer points will interrupt the dialogue. Little mistake on my part for not having the footage here, as there was a little 16-minute segment that I forgot to download before it expired off Twitch, but that's all that happened, because after this, we just minigame teleport to Soul Wars to bank everything. Once you're at Soul Wars, take the portal nearby to Edgeville, then go to the far northwest building to talk to Oziak to continue Dragon Slayer. Then go back south to the bank and pull out your steak sandwich, your cat, and 8 wines for some protection in a bit. Then go southwest into the ruins to give Marley the steak sandwich for below Ice Mountain, before making sure you're on a low population world. Then take the Wildy Lever system to Ardougne and run northeast to Elna to continue Biohazard, who then sends you to King Lathis in the castle south. The reason we're turning the quest in prior to just running west to turn Arcad in is because we're actually currently locked out of West Ardougne until we finish the quest. We can't go dig behind Edmund's house again as the ground is too hard. We can't redo the pigeon trick since they won't leave the cage, and we can't use the guys who help you on the south side of the wall since they say it's too dangerous. So unless there's a fourth way in, we just gotta turn in the quest first. King Lathis tells you the plague is fake and laughs in your face, finishing Biohazard, which gives you 3 quest points, 1250 thieving XP, which should still be level 31, but you might be 32 if you thieved more back at Kourend, entrance to the combat training camp, which will be one of our final easy diary tasks, and the ability to travel through the West Ardougne gates, which will make trading cats way faster. So now go trade in your cat, then head back east to Ardougne and go northwest out of town to enter the combat training camp for another easy diary task. Return to town, cross the log balance, which we just got the agility level to cross, and bank to pull out your scrying orb, a chronicle or axe to get a new kitten, as well as 100 coins, and your pickaxe. And as a note, if your Mahogany Homes client is in Ardougne, pull out your hammer, saw, steel bar, and planks, then reference the wiki to find where your client's house is, go repair their furniture to get up to level 12 construction. Then of course, go get a new Mahogany Homes client and do that one whenever able. Before leaving town, go east to Wizard Crompety's house in the northeast section of Ardougne. Pick up the chisel nearby and teleport to the Rune Essence mine for another easy diary task, and to satisfy 2 of the 3 locations you need to visit with the scrying orb for the Abyss mini quest. Fill your inventory with Rune Essence before home teleporting to Lumbridge and taking the canoe system to Barbarian Village, then running east to Gertrude's Cat to get a new kitten, or chronicling and running north. When done, go to Varrock and bank. And I think we're gonna call it there. Coming up next is doing the dig site quest, getting several more diary tasks done, getting over 101 kudos to get the final XP that we need to get to level 30 crafting, and finally getting the Ardougne Easy Diary lamp plus the Ardougne Easy Diary cape. So next episode has a lot of shit going on for it. Thanks again for joining everybody. See you next time.